Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
This is the closing bell on the Stock Movers Report. The companies making moves at the close of U.S. trading with Carol Massar, Tim Stenovec, Romaine Bostick, and Katie Greifeld.
Well, I want to take a look at some of the gainers on the day today. Let's start with Alphabet shares, the parent company of Google, up a cool 1% on the day today. The company entering a multi-year deal with Apple to power Apple's AI technology, including Siri. The next generation of Apple Foundation models will be based on Google's Gemini models and cloud tech to help power future Apple intelligence features. Apple will maintain its privacy standards by running its AI services on consumer devices or via private cloud compute. And the Google tech will help support a new version of Siri due this year. I think it's really notable given that these two are competitors when it comes to the iOS and Android operating systems. So the challenges in the new world of AI produce strange bedfellows. Also, taking a look at shares of Walmart, speaking of technology, and I say speaking of tech, because Walmart is going to be the newest entrant in the Nasdaq 100. That's going to be on January 20th. That's up a cool 3% today. Walmart will join the Nasdaq 100 later this month, this after AstraZeneca is exiting. The market cap of Walmart, about $940 billion, just shy of a $1 trillion market cap, would be the first retailer to reach that milestone. And finally, Sun Country Airlines today surging. A little M&A news. This, their highest intraday level since February after the company, along with Pure Allegiant Travel, announced a definitive merger agreement. Now, Allegiant is going to acquire Sun Country. It's a cash and stock transaction. It's an applied value of $18.89 per Sun Country share. Shares of Sun Country Airline Holdings today higher by about 10.6%, Emily.
All right, thanks, Tim. Now, for the decliners, I'm starting with Abercrombie & Fitch. It was down 18%, the lowest since early December, after the apparel retailer said it now sees net sales up 5% for the fourth quarter. And that was down from previous expectations of up to 6%. It may be a case here of just expectations that were too high, considering the fact that the stock was up 62% over the past 3 months of Friday's close. So we did see investors maybe taking some profits on these expectations getting pared back even just slightly. And of course, the big story today in financial stocks is all about Trump's tweet here, or Truth Social post, that he called on credit card companies to cap interest rates at 10% for a year. This is a move that could wipe out billions in profits for one of the banking industry's biggest businesses, Capital One. Our very own Paige Smith telling us that this is the company really to watch here, that we would be affected by this in the biggest way, considering that they're the largest U.S. card issuer. The stock tumbled as much as 8%, biggest intraday decline in about 9 months before paring losses slightly, but still finishing the day around 6%. Visa, of course, another very big stock in this industry. It's interesting, you look at what analysts had to say. Mike Mayo, an analyst at Wells Fargo, he said the cap proposed by the president could wipe out earnings from cards for a year. Now, he wasn't signaling out Visa, but of course, important to note here that that stock was down about 2%.
All right, let's take a look at the yield space, and I want to pay close attention here to what's going on the longer end of the Treasury curve, your 30-year yield. Remember, we started this day with a lot of concerns about some of the policy proposals being floated out of Washington that had a huge impact on the Treasury market. We saw selling across the curve, though that selling did abate as we got deeper into the session. The net result of it all is not a whole lot of movement on the short end of the curve, but that 30-year yield is down about 2 basis points here on the day. Your 10-year yield also down by higher by about 2 basis points on the day. Your 30-year yield also higher by about 2 basis points as well here. And you have a lot of folks coming out right now, including the strategists over at J.P. Morgan, talking about the potential for further steepening of that curve as some of those policy proposals maybe scare away some investors from taking any long duration bets here.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.